are properties going for the offer prices? Like, take the property down the road from me. Are people on a whole paying the asking price, or are people overvaluing their properties? Because is there also a case from the lender's perspective that valuers going in for the mortgage companies are in a way threatening a lot of these deals going through because they're putting in an extra margin on the property value for the lender? Are we getting that, Ben?
Yeah, so a bit. So probably not to the extent that you would say it's a big issue. That and the kind of value of your house and the level of deposit that you would get, you need to have your mortgage product or whatever kind of working hand in hand. So yeah, you've probably seen a bit more prudent activity from valuers doing valuations on houses. That's to one side, benefits the lender, is probably less favourable to the consumer. But equally, because there's not as many low deposit products on the market, what you're actually seeing is some more people taking on these mortgages with already they have more equity in that house. So they build themselves kind of a bigger buffer to be more resilient against any shorter term changes in the house prices. Now, that alongside that, some lenders would use, they wouldn't even need to get a human to go and see that property. Some would use kind of desktop based or automatic valuation methods to do an appraisal of a house, you know, that are based on confidence intervals and a view over 2 or 3 years time. So yeah, I think there is some of that going on with the valuations, not too much. And also I think from my experience, and we'll be able to share more, I think, from Verona, is that in some circumstances, I guess people do put their properties on for a bit higher, and there's a real trade-off between putting a house on for a little bit less money and getting a lot of activity. And who knows, you may get someone bid over the asking price versus putting it on for too much, having less activity and having someone bid under the asking price. Today, you have to have buyers to sell your house, and so you end up meeting in the kind of market level for that price, for that property.
And Verona, I mean, what are you seeing on that side of things in terms of, I mean, I know it's a very big market. It isn't all just, you can't the one answer to all of this, but what are you seeing from that kind of offer to asking price?
Yeah, I mean, I think generally our ethos as an estate agent is to do a fair assessment of the value of the property within the market today. I think what we know is that the market can ebb and flow, and it goes up and down based on things like stamp duty changes. But you know, the market dictates what your property is worth based on comparables that have sold in your area and the knowledge and the expertise of the agent that you use. So we often speak to customers who believe that because something like this has happened, that there's an extra 10% or 20% premium on the property value. And, you know, we have to assess or discuss with them the realistic price that we believe it will achieve. To Ben's point, absolutely, we believe putting it on at a fair price and increasing the activity and the viewings for that property is much, much more important than putting it on at an unrealistic price, because what happens is it doesn't attract the attention to start with. Then we have to do a price realignment that takes it back into where it should have started with. And then the assumption from a potential viewer or potential buyer is that there's something wrong with the property. So that's never a good starting point when you're putting a property to market. So the best thing to do and the best advice we would always give is to put it on at the realistic price that we think it will sell for, attract the most attention for that property, and then potentially, you know, enter into negotiations with maybe 2 or 3 very keen buyers.